Tonight I would like to discuss this. Do all religions teach the same Dharma or truth? Because people say, after all, every religion teaches the same thing, do good and not to do bad thing. Yes, it is true. There is no religion to tell us to do bad thing, also advise us to do good thing. But the Dharma is a different thing. Here we are talking a religious way of life. This question was put to the Buddha by Sakra, the king of the Devas. Came and asked whether all these existing religions teaches the same Dharma, same doctrine, or same religious way of life. So the Buddha mentioned, here in this world, lot of elements, energies, forces combined together, the world come into existence. So, one particular religion take only one element and say this is our Dharma. Another religion take another element and say this is our Dharma. Another religion take some energies, cosmic energies, and say this is our Dharma. Therefore the Buddha never agreed that all these existing religions teach the real truth. One aspect only. They are in the dark on the other side, when you compare. Now let us start from the very beginning, then we can understand. All the other religions teach us that there is a Creator God to create this world without any controversy, all the other religions. The Buddha completely rejected this belief. The world is not created by a God. Here you can see the difference now. Then all the other religions teach us living beings were created by a God. Humans and animals and all the other creatures created by a God. The Buddha rejected this belief also. He says, human beings and other living beings were not created by God, but they come into existence due to the combinations of various elements and energies and forces. Originated at the beginning, combinations of all these elements and energies and forces, then went on evolving, changing, developing and developing and developing. This is the Buddhist attitude, not created by anybody. Scientists also fully agree with this. Again in Aggañña Sutra, one of the discourses, it is mentioned, when the formation has taken place here on this earth, when the environment is ready for living being to exist, two devas come down from heaven, Devaloka. After that, they had some sort of temptation that they never had, the aroma. So after that, they tasted, and very tasty. This taste created a strong craving in their mind. Formerly they never had this kind of craving. Because of that, they could not go back. Then they had to settle down here. But that is not the beginning. Living beings exist in various other planets in this universe. The rebirth also take place in those who are in this planet will be born in some other planet. Those who are in certain other planet will be born again here. This is the nature of existence. So, the Buddhists or the teachings of the Buddha never accept that all these living beings are created by a God. Then, religious laws, religious commandments, religious punishment, you can find in all the other religions, but not in Buddhism. No religious law, no commandment, no punishment from religion. The Buddha did not introduce any religious law, just like Parliament enforced certain laws from time to time. What he did, instead of enforcing religious laws, he taught us how to think, how to understand what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do. Make us to understand. Without saying, oh, according to our religion we cannot do this. Our religious teachers say we must do this, we cannot do that. This system is not in the teachings of the Buddha. He says, if you do all these bad deeds, you had to face the bad effect, consequences. Not given by the God or not given by the Buddha. This is the nature of those actions. If you do all these good things, then you can experience the good result. It is not a law. It is not a commandment. Therefore, you are responsible for that. You cannot say, oh, the Buddha says we should not do this, therefore we cannot do. That is small children's language. So Papa say, I cannot go there. Mama say, I cannot eat this. But the child doesn't know why. So Buddhism is not, the main purpose of the teaching of the Buddha is to open our mind and think unbiasedly, understand. When we understood, not necessary to depend on God, not necessary to depend on the Buddha also. Buddha said, don't depend on me. I can tell you what to do and not to do, but you have to practice. Don't depend on me. But all the other religions depend on their God or the creator or the founder of their religion. Then, in all the other religions, they have eternal heaven and eternal hell. God created both, and those who do not follow the commandment or the religious laws given by the God, they condemn into eternal hell, to suffer forever. Those who follow their commandment and religious law send them to heaven to have eternal life there. The Buddha completely rejected this belief. Two things. There is nobody to send us to heaven, nobody to send us to hell. We create our own hell, we create our own heaven, but not God or another person. Again, heaven and hells are not eternal, everlasting. There is a certain period for them to suffer according to their bad karma. Again they get the chance to come back. And there are certain periods they can enjoy their life according to the degrees of their good karma. When these good karmas extinguish, again rebirth takes place. Therefore, no eternal hell, no eternal heaven, according to Buddhism. Then, many religions believe that by performing some rite and rituals and ceremonies and sacrificing animals in the name of God, they will be able to get rid of all their bad luck and sins and everything that they have committed. Buddha completely rejected this. By performing any kind of rite and rituals, you cannot purify yourself. Again, many other religions strongly believed by torturing their physical body, by burning or poking or cutting or starving or without sleeping, without taking medicines when they are sick, they believe that they can wash away all their sins. That the Buddha says, physical body is not responsible for the mistake that we have committed. Body cannot do any mistake or any good thing. The mind used the body as a weapon. So by torturing this body, you won't gain anything. Just only suffer. Take for instance, a man come and shoot and kill another person. He dropped the gun and run away. The gun is there. Then people come and break this gun. This gun killed this man. This gun is used by a person's mind. Because the culprit is not the gun, the person who created the idea that he want to kill. Therefore, by torturing physical body, you never gain anything. Don't suffer in the name of your religion. You can lead the normal life and practice a religion. Again, some people believe that the karma, good and bad karma that we have accumulated or committed, handled by God. Now, if we have done bad karma, God come and punish us. If we have done some good karma, the God come and reward us. The Buddha rejected this belief also. God has nothing to do with our own karma. Because karma is created by the mind, not by the body. The God cannot change or support or stop, interrupt. The Buddha also cannot do that. He says, Suddhi asuddhi pacchattang nāña maññaṃ visodhe. In Dhammapada, you can see this saying of the Buddha. Purity and impurity in our mind. That means good karma or bad karma. Nāña maññaṃ visodhe. Another person cannot change. Another person cannot destroy. God or the Buddha. The Buddha cannot stop. If you are going to suffer due to your own bad karma, the Buddha cannot stop this. The Buddha had to suffer from 12 kinds of sicknesses and certain other disturbances due to previous bad karma that he has committed long, long ago. He had no authority, no power to stop that. Therefore, each and every person individually responsible for his or her pleasant or unpleasant feeling that he experienced. So, most of these views or the advices given by the Buddha appealed to intellectuals. great thinkers, philosophers, psychologists, and even free thinkers, scientists, they can agree the method introduced by the Buddha without following age-old traditions and beliefs. Then, worshipping and praying. All the other religions encourage people just to worship and pray, enough. After that, they can go to heaven or they can enjoy a peaceful life here. The Buddha's advice is, simply by worshipping or praying or chanting or reciting, it is impossible for a person to find out his or her salvation. They may experience some good result because of praying and worshipping and chanting, but impossible to gain final salvation, only these three methods. Even in Mahayana Buddhism, very strongly advise people to recite the name of Amitabha. It is mentioned, although you have committed certain bad karma, before your death, if you can recite at least 7 times, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha, you get the chance to be born in Sukhavati or Pure Land. This is not the Buddha's teaching. Indirectly we encourage people to do bad things, because they say, why worry, we can do anything whatever we like. But before our death we say Namo Amitabha, Namo Amitabha 7 times, then we will be in heaven. The Christian also come and do the same thing. When the man is going to die, he must be a culprit who has violated, endangered the whole village, whole city. When he is going to die, oh, I believe in God, please take away all my sins. Then God come, take away all the sin, send him to heaven. And all the other that he disturbed, his victim are suffering. And God cannot save them, protect them. When he was committing all evil, wicked, cruel things, God has no power to come and stop them. He keep quiet. Allow him to do all the bad things. When he is going to die, oh, I believe in God, then sent to heaven. What sort of justification is there? What sort of mind people have to accept, to believe this kind of teaching? Oh, the Buddha very clearly says, the Buddha cannot take away your sins, your bad karma. A God cannot take away the bad karma. But you can do that. This is the important thing. Another person cannot. The mind that created the bad karma, by using the same mind, that person will be able to overcome. I always give this example. Yassa papang katang kammang kusalena pitiyati, sayings of the Buddha. These are very beautiful sayings of the Buddha. People do not know. They never think. He says, if anyone has committed bad deeds or bad karma earlier, so one day that person realized that I have been doing certain bad things. I know they are bad. Then create strong determination not to do, not to repeat the same mistake or same bad thing. To stop. After that, he has to develop more and more good karma. Kusala kamma. Kusala kamma means the good deeds that we perform to reduce our ignorance. The good deed that we perform to reduce our anger, jealousy, grudge, enmity, ill will. The good deed that we perform to reduce our craving and selfishness. They are called kusala karma. Not simply by offering dana and offering flowers and chanting, and they are not kusala karma. They are punya karma. Experience some good result for a short period, after that nothing. But kusala karma is not like that. Can continue life after life. Because some sort of development, some sort of understanding, some sort of purity we develop in the mind. Therefore, mind is responsible for the next life. Then the mental habit, again we can use in the next existence. Then continue life after life. One day attain salvation. Bad karma had no chance to affect. Now this is the method taught by the Buddha. Therefore, after committing all those evil things, no point of praying and asking forgiveness. No one can forgive sins. Impossible. This is the method. Instead of worshipping, praying, offering, do some good deeds to reduce your anger, your jealousy, your craving, your selfishness, your stupidity, your ignorance. Then the mind become more energetic. Will be able to overcome the bad effect. Angulimala's story I always repeat to you. A murderer. So the Buddha came to know that this man is committing very bad evil, slaughtering human beings. He made a vow. He wanted to complete 1,000. Completed 99. Only one. 999. Waiting to kill even his own mother on that day. He wanted to get rid of this, to fulfill his vow. Then the Buddha came to know this. He went. But he knew by preaching, talking, he cannot tame. He is very wild. He is not ready to listen. Then he performed a minor miracle to tame me. That is, allow him to run after him for nearly 4 miles. He walked in normal way without running. He run and run and run and run, now cannot run anymore. Cannot reach the Buddha. Then he said, stop. Then the Buddha knew, I can talk to him now. He said, I have already stopped. You are the one who runs. Then he said, no. How can you say you have stopped? I saw you are walking. I have stopped means I have stopped destroying others' life. You are the one who runs means you are committing it. You are doing it. Then he understood. Then he asked another question. Yes, I know you did not run. You walk. But I run as fast as much as possible. Why I could not catch you? Why I could not come nearer to you? Then the Buddha said, you could not come nearer to me because you run. If you stop your running, then you can catch me. Then he said, very interesting. Here, what is the meaning of that? You run means by killing human beings, you continue this. That is the meaning of running. So if you stop this, you can come nearer to me. Then he understood. He threw away his sword and can I follow you? Why not? Ordained him as a monk, this murderer. From that day onward, he started his meditations and developing, cultivating, purifying his mental energy. He attained arahanthood, later attained nirvana. Bad karma had no chance to catch it, finished. Now that is why the Buddha says, Yassa papang katang kammang kusalena petiyati. If anyone has done some bad karma, by performing some kusala karma or meritorious deeds, he will be able to overcome the bad effect. Then why should we believe what people come and say, God can forgive your sins? This is the method taught by the Buddha. No point of praying to anybody asking forgiveness. It doesn't work. So when we consider all these differences, the Buddhism will appeal to intellectuals, those who do not know how to think, how to understand properly, do not know how to appreciate the method introduced by the Buddha. Again, many other religious groups, they are not willing to contribute anything for the development of another religion. They say it is against their religion. They cannot support another religion. The Buddha has taken an entirely different aspect. A very rich man, his name was Upali, follower of another religion. Having heard about the Buddha, one day he came and told the Buddha that he wants to become a Buddhist. And the Buddha asked, why do you want to become Buddhist? Well, people say your teaching is very good. Therefore, I also decided to follow your religious way of life. Then the Buddha, have you ever heard my teaching? No. Do you know whether you can practice my teaching? No. Not knowing all those things, why do you want to change your religion? If anybody wants to change his or her religion, must study, observe, try to find out whether you can practice or not, reasonable or not, then can consider to change religion. Then he said, I think this advice is more than enough for me to understand the nature of your teaching. If I have approached another religious teacher, they embrace me at once and announce, oh, such a big man also come and accepted our religion. Instead, you advise me to study, to think, to observe, to accept another religion. But you can see the Buddhist attitude. Others come and straight away tell you, if you believe in our God, straight away you can go to heaven. Accept, finish. Never think, never observe, never understand things properly, just accept, finish, change, convert. Then he said, now I am a Buddhist. I understood the teachings of the Buddha. Then he asked one question. I have been supporting the priest of my former religion, but I have nothing to do with that religion. I am a Buddhist. But as Buddhist, can I support them? Provide food and all the requisites. The Buddha started telling, you can feed a worm, fly, ants, you get merit. You feed living beings. And you feed human beings. You gain more merit than feeding the animals, because human life is more valuable. Again, you provide food to a man who observes at least 5 precepts. Then you gain more merit because that person is virtuous, observe some religious principles. Then he went on. If you offer food to a monk or anyone who has renounced worldly life, observe more precepts, then you gain more merit. Then there are 4 stages to attain Nibbāna. Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta. So when you offer food, the first stage of sainthood, you gain more merit than offering your food to ordinary monks or others. Then increase, one after the other, one after, up to 4, Arahantas. Then he said, when you offer food to enlighten the Buddha, you gain more merit than the merit that you gain by offering food to Arahantas. After that he said, if you offer food to the Buddha and to the Sangha community together, you get highest merits. Here you can understand the Buddhist attitude. The Buddha encouraged him to go and support his former religious teachers and priests. But followers of other religions say, oh, we cannot support, it is a sin. We cannot. So when we use our common sense, we can understand vast difference between Buddhism and many other religions. Again, the freedom that Buddhists enjoy, I don't think the followers of any other religion in this world gain. Because they say, some religions say you must get married. God created man and woman for creating babies. If you neglect the will of God, you are going against the God. So it is a sin if you do not get married. There are religions. Again, after their marriage, they say you must produce children. Otherwise, you are not going to fulfill the will of the God. Then, Buddhism or the Buddha never say you must get married. It is up to you. If you want to get married, you can do so. If you don't like, you are at liberty to remain as a bachelor. It is your own, because religion has nothing to do with that. After your marriage, if you don't like children, you can stop. It is not against religion, because there is no life. Before life come into existence, they can avoid it. So they do not violate any religious principle. Again, the family planning. 2 religions, they know we cannot do that. We go against the will of God. We cannot stop. If God gives, we must accept. Buddhism says, if you don't like children, you can take any precaution, any method to avoid conception, not to conceive a baby. You are not destroying any life. You are not harming any living being. See the freedom in Buddhism. Again, after our death, some religions say you must cremate. You cannot bury. Some other religions say you must bury, you cannot cremate. It is against their religion. Oh, we cannot burn. It is against our religion. Buddhism says it is according to your own convenience. If you like to bury, you can do so. If you want to cremate, you can cremate. There is no religious value. Because you burn or you bury, the house that person lived, he has gone already. Life is gone. He occupied this house. When the life is gone, remain only this house. So this rotten house, either we can burn or bury makes no difference. But we respect the name of our father, mother, teacher, but not the dead body. Here only two elements remain. So others say, no, you cannot, you must bury. One day when the God come and ring the bell to get up, to go to heaven. But still people believe this kind of thing. You cannot touch the grave where this person was buried because you disturb the soul or the self. There is no such thing in Buddhism. This is only a rotten house where that person lived. He has gone from here and started to build another new house. He is building there. So when you consider all these things, you can understand what sort of freedom that we are actually experiencing. Again, the Buddha never said, you must come and worship and respect and pray to me. You should not worship, respect to another religious teacher. But others, what do they say? Oh, we cannot respect. It is against our religion. We can pray. We can worship only to our God or our teacher, not to others. It is against. Puja cha pujaniyanang etang mangalamuttamam. See the sayings of the Buddha. Respect those who are worthy of respect, irrespective of religion or race or any other discrimination. Others cannot say, oh, we cannot respect others. So, Archbishop, former Archbishop, he is still living, he is 90 years old now, Vandagan, Archbishop Vandagan. He always visit our temple and come and shake hand like this. Then I told him, this is not our Oriental custom to greet. Our Oriental custom, greeting, is like this, to welcome. The Buddha also did this. When he visited some other religious group, the Buddha also greeted others like this. It is not worshipping, it is greeting. Now in India, in the whole country, they greet like this. They never shake hands. So, from that day onward, Archbishop Vandagan, when he come to our temple or meet somewhere, we exchange our greeting in this way. This is very reasonable, without touching and without shaking hand. And shaking hand, he say, how do you do? Sometimes I ask, why do you want to know how I do? Very funny language. Some others come and say, how do you keep? I have nothing to keep. That is language. But in other countries, very meaningful. Let us take Sri Lanka. Ayubowan. Long life. With the morning or afternoon or evening to anybody. Ayubowan. Long life. That is greeting. In Japan, when you meet another person, they greet like this. How's your business? That is their way of greeting. And India, in Hindi language, Tabiyat acha hai, how's your health? That is greeting. So in every language, they have their own way of saying something to it. Here in Malaysia, Sudah makan. It is a greeting because we concern about your food, whether you have taken your food. Sudah makan is a greeting. So, still people have not realized the real validity or the freedom that we experience by following this religion. Because we are not going to show off. We follow our religious way of life, very simple way, very humble way, and without condemning others. Others always think they must condemn other religion. It is their duty to condemn other religion. But Buddhists never think that the followers of other religions are sinners. They never use this word. But others say, heathens, pagans, infidels, sinners, condemn. Even those who have no religion also, Buddhists never say they are sinners or they go to hell. See how uncultured they are and how cultured we are, not to condemn others. We also know how to appreciate certain teachings in other religions. The book that I have written, Food for the Thinking Mind, I have given quotation from Bible, Quran and Hindu and various other religions. So one day we had a meeting in Ikim, dialogue with them, Muslim. I gave one copy of this and show how I quoted Prophet Muhammad here. Then I asked, when you write a book, can you mention the Buddha says like this? You never do that. They cannot do that. Because they cannot appreciate the teachings of another religion. Always condemn. So, when I went to America, that Clinton's issue was very hot at that time. President of America. Everybody was talking about him, condemning him. In my public talk, I mentioned what Jesus has said. One day when he was going somewhere, he saw a group of people are going to kill a woman, stoning for committing adultery. That custom is still there in Middle East. Then Jesus said, one who is sinless cast the first stone. Nobody is sinless. Everybody has committed sin, certain sin. Then how can you kill this woman? She is the only one who committed sins. So, I told these Americans have forgotten what Jesus has said. They try to show others, Clinton is the only culprit, all the others are good people. In my public talk I mentioned like this. So, that freedom is there. Beautiful sayings. Jesus, Muhammad, Krishna and all the other great teachers. Truth is truth. These sayings also you can see is truth. Because truth is not belong to any particular religion. Religion accommodated truth into their religion. They have not created the truth. The Buddha mentioned after gaining his enlightenment, Pātu rahose magadesu ubbe dhammo asuddho samalehi chinti. This dharma, this truth that I understood is not a new dharma, new religion or new truth, not created by me. This dharma existed long ago. But people have forgotten, distorted, misinterpreted, so the real truth disappears. That is why Buddhas will appear from time to time to reveal the truth. Therefore, truth is not created by God, not created by the Buddha, exists. Truth always exists. No one can create the truth, no one can destroy the truth, but can forget. So when we explain the liberal attitude and very rational, reasonable, practicable methods introduced by the Buddha as a religious way of life, he started his mission with right understanding. Samma Ditthi, Eight Noble Path, first item. Samma Ditti, right understanding. You have to start your religious way of life with understanding. Therefore, he did not advise people to develop their belief, just to believe. There is nothing to believe. Understand. Try to understand. Then, when we realized, the confidence appeared in our mind. That confidence is stronger than faith or the belief. Our beliefs are changeable from time to time, but confidence that we gain is very solid. That is why he advises us to understand first, then accept, then practice, then you experience. So we can take item by item, 45 years teachings of the Buddha. Scientists have ousted many religious beliefs from their holy books, according to their discoveries. So far, scientists could not attack any word, even one word uttered by the Buddha. They cannot do that. The more they discover, the more they come nearer to the Buddha, but far away from other religions. About the concept of creator God and creations and punishments and reward and heaven and hell and all those things, great thinkers do not believe. Throw away all these things today. But the Buddha's explanation for all those things are very reasonable, intellectuals can accept. Now in the West, Buddhism is a fast growing religion, especially in Australia, New Zealand, America, England. Last year I visited there, and so many places we had to give talk, and their confidence is very strong, understanding, because scientific education given a chance for them to open the mind. So when they look at through that angle, they can understand that in the teachings of the Buddha, they can see the truth. Scientific education. But other religions do not allow people to develop their intellectuals. Interrupt. They say, oh, you are going against the will of God. You cannot doubt. It is a sin. God will punish you. The Buddha says you must doubt first before you accept. Why? When you doubt, you observe, investigate, discuss, try to find out whether it is true or not. Therefore he says you must doubt first. After that, come to know, then accept. Others say, oh, you cannot doubt. If you doubt means the devil enter into your mind to doubt. How they mislead people. They don't allow people to open their mind and think freely. The Buddha said, don't depend on Buddha. Don't depend on God. You have thinking mind. I have taught you how to use this mind, how to think and how to understand things properly. Then you can understand your thinking mind is stronger than all the other energies in this world. Such a noble religion, people can throw away very easily, because they do not know anything, the real value of this religion. Any questions? No questions. Then sharing of merits. Right. Imina punya kammena upajjaya gunuttara acari upakaraca mata pita piya mamang Suriyo Chandi Maharaja Gunavanta Narapicha Brahma Maharaja Indacha lokapala ca devata yamo mitta manussa ca majjata verika pica sabbe satta sukhi hontu punyani pakatani me sukhanca tividang dentu kippang papeta omatang imina punya kammena imina uddhi kippang sulabhe ceva sanupadana cedanang ye santane nadamma yava nibbānato mamang nassantu sabbadāeva yatta jato bhave bhave ujju citto satipañño salleko viriyavamina mara labhantu nokasang tunca viriyesu me buddhādi pavaro nato Dhamma nato aruttamu nato pacceka sambuddho sangho nato uttaro tesottamanubhavena marukka sanglabhantu ma Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkhantu sabba devata sabba buddhāna bhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkhantu sabba devata sabba dhammānu bhavena sada sutti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkhantu sabba devata sabba sanghānu bhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. Sarasam.